Okay, so it's August. It's August. I'm having trouble processing that, if we're being honest. All of my Facebook memories right now are of being home or being at camp. Two places that I both cannot and will not be at this summer. The camp memories are just, me missing people that I don't get to see at this point. And not missing the mental health crisis that I was in for 3 whole freaking summers. Specifically the last one. But then there's also the memories of being home for summers when I was in high school, and memories of the past few years when I've been home over like weekends or when I would take a few days off in the week, depending on what job I was working. And I think about what a different life I lived before this year. How many things I took for granted when it came to relationships with people I care about. Tonight I was in the Discord and I was talking about how my relationship with my family is going to be a lot different for a while, if not, for a long time, after I come out to more family, and how, in a way, my friends in the Discord, and specific friends in the Discord, are like the cousins who don't have strong opinions about how I live my life, except to say that they support me. Talking about how morality lectures and homophobia go hand in hand. And how that means even if I can sweep it under the rug with some people, there are other people who aren't going to let that be swept under the rug. It's going to be a conversation we have, and it's not going to be a pleasant one. I recognize that the conversation I had with my parents at the end of February was just opening a door for many more conversations, and that those conversations probably won't happen for a while, just because of who my parents are, and also because of what's happening right now. The lack of what's happening in my life, relationship-wise, is very convenient for sweeping things under the rug. But with all of that in mind, there are family members of mine who will not sweep it under the rug. They will address it head on. And I was talking about that tonight, and just like thanking some of my closer friends within that community for being safe and for looking out for me, for saying they'll fight for me. And how when inevitably that difficult conversation happens, I'm gonna have to come back in to the chat and talk about it, because I have a feeling it'll be one of those situations where I desperately need to just feel known and obviously not physically held, but virtually held by people who care. I don't have any clue when that's going to be a thing. It could be years. We don't know anything about what's going on timeline wise right now. When that day comes, I know I have a safe place to go and hide afterwards, to heal and to process. And I don't take that for granted for one moment. But it's still so difficult sometimes to pull out of the digital space that I consider most of my friendships to be in at this point, because I think that's one thing that COVID has done for me, is taught me to exist within digital friendships and not rely as much on physical in-person connections. And that makes me sad, but it also has been so valuable for creating a space where I feel like I actually fit. I wonder what those hard conversations and the recovery from them is going to be like when the main people that I can rely on to let me lean on them for a little bit and then help me stand back up and do it on my own again. To have that just be a digital thing where I can't sit next to someone. I just wonder how that's going to play out. I think about it a lot in some capacity, but today is the first time in a while that I've thought about it to that level. "2020 has been a dumpster fire of a year, but it's also brought a lot of new that I needed. And I don't want to take that for granted. I gotta sleep, but damn, who would have thought? Who would have thought that I would be talking to people on the internet every night and laughing with them and crying with them and considering them to be the greatest friends that I have in my life? I wouldn't have guessed.